Hello everyone and welcome back to Coffee Time. My name is Armin and here is Coffee Time. Long time no see, and today is 1st of December 2025. It's almost 1 year ago since we made our last video here, which was on ASP.NET Core 8. I want to make something interesting today. We want to make a backend API which is gonna handle register, login, change password, some kind of authentication and authorization endpoint which is on ASP.NET Core 9 and SQL Server, and we use also Entity Framework Core. Okay, this project is two side, server side, and for the front side we go for Blazor WebAssembly standalone. And let me show you. If I click here for a create new project, we see here different options. Okay, and here you have to choose for ASP.NET Core Web API. If I click on next, here we have some options to choose, and if I go here for authentication type, we have here three options: Microsoft Identity Platform, Windows, or none. Okay, we choose here for none, but actually we want to make use of individual accounts. Okay, and JSON Web Token for more secure. Okay, I'm gonna close this one, and the second one, which is front side, we're going for Wasam standalone, and we want to make their login, register, and authentication authorization system from scratch. Okay, here is my project version 9. I have here authentication, JWT bearer, entity framework. These are the packages: entity framework core, design, and I have here entity framework tools and SQL Server. Okay, because as you know, my PC or my laptop getting hot, we need to make it really fast. Okay, I'm gonna show you first of all the structure of the project here. I have here DTOs, or whatever you can call in your project, and the DTOs is just simple email and password is for registered DTO. Maybe this is not DTO classes, but I name it just here for now as a registered DTO. And we have here login class, email and password again, and we have here change password DTO. Okay, these are simple one because we start from scratch and we go for the simple, and we're gonna develop it as we go further. Okay, these are DTOs, and I have here a data class, application DB context class, which is inherit identity DB context application user. Okay, what is our application user? I have here model folder. Application user is gonna implement identity user, and identity user, which means you can also you have that properties there, and you can add what you want. And this is just what I'm talking about. We want to make use of identity user inside built in, and this is some kind how we use individual accounts. And our project full backend 90. If I'm gonna click here full backend 90, I'm gonna for tables. I want to show you something. Here we have users. Okay, if I'm opening this database here, you see we have these are standard properties here for individual accounts. But let's imagine you have here, I don't know, you want to add something, a new property here. For example, a string, something new. Okay, you get it here in your database also. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going here, I'm going back, application user, I'm gonna remove it because I don't need it at the time. Okay, this is our application user. I have here my application setting JSON file, which is standard in all core ASP.NET Core versions. I have here a connection string, which is default connection in this case, and the path full backend 90, what you saw it just a while ago. And I have here also, because we want to make use of JWT secure and login, we have here our JWT JSON web token setting, which is key, issuer, audience, and expires in minute, which is in this case 60 minutes, and issuer and audience, and this is the key, just to show. And we have program file, which we get here again very standard. We don't make it complicated here. And we have again here our connection string, var connection string, and we get access to JSON file configuration. When we say configuration, we can have access to application JSON file, and here we make connection between these two. And we have here DB context factory. Instead of DB context, here you can make multi instances, and this is what I like to use, or you can use DB context. I have here add login to log in if something error or something like that. And I have here also add identity application user role, which is again very standard, is just a setup. And we have here configuration of JSON web token, which is in this case variable, and we get access to JWT setting here, which is again here JWT setting and JWT setting, and we get here key, and we go here to make a setup. Config it here, authentication option, this is default, and we have again option token validated parameter, which is issuer, audience, lifetime, and you set it for true here. And again we have here the same, we get access to that one. These are all standard kind of stuff. And we have here options, because I want to read if anything went wrong or something like that, I want to see it. And we have here authorization, and we have here container, because we use here JWT service, also I use it there. I'm gonna back for that one. And we have here authentication authorization. I have here a service class, which is named here JWT service INJ configuration. Here we have our constructor, and here we have just only one method, which is generate a token and accept application user as user. And just again we have access to that JSON file, and voila, and we here just generate a new token. A new token is like this. This is a token separated by dot 3. The body has 3 parts, very long numbers, and separated by dot. Okay, we talk about this later. Okay, this is our program class, this is JWT service, and here we have data class, DB context, which you saw it actually, DTOs we talked about, and migration. When we done, we migrated, add just hyphen migration and the name, and update database, which you get this database. And this is exactly after migration, this is exactly the tables what you get. Only you get authentication tables, because we don't have any model class to make. It's coming later, but it's just register, login, and change password in this part. And I have here also controllers. I have here one controller, and it's authentication controller, which is IUTH controller, and is going for controller base. And I have here controller, and this is my route, and I have here some classes, user manager, configuration, which is get access to app setting JSON file, and I have JWT service and goes to the constructor, and voila. Okay, and I have here some endpoint. The first one is post method register, and I have here a async task register, which is accept register DTO model, which you see here, register, which is email and password. Okay, and here we check if it's white or a space. It say you need to fill something valid, and we have here a user, which is a new application user, and model is gonna fill that one. And we have here result, which is the help of user manager we create new user. User is this user, and password is coming from what user type. If it wasn't successful, bad request. If it's okay, it's gonna return successful. I have other post method, which is login task I action result. It accept login DTO, which is again email and password, and we check here for error condition, email and password. If someone filled nothing or wanna try to send empty stuff, this is where we catch it, and then we find that email which has been sent to our controller, and we find it in our database. If not, it is just invalid credential, and we check for the password. If the password is valid, because if you see, this method has 3 parameter: application, user, password, two, and we check it. If the password wasn't valid, it's returned unauthorized, and if it's valid, it's gonna generate a token for us, which is this token, very long, and we talk about it. It's generated token, and as you know, here in our services we have here just this method accept a user, application user. Okay, and then where is our controller? Where is our controller? Okay, here. Okay, and then we generate a token and we return that one, which is something like this: email, user ID, and expires. This is the model of response. If everything is okay, when you call it, you get something like that. And we have here other one, other controller, other method, other endpoint, which is again post, and the path is just change password, and we annotate this with authorized, which means when user fills valid username and password, we need that JWT token to get further access. Okay, we check here if is not okay, if our parameter or what we get is not valid, we return bad request. If it's okay, we're gonna find it, ID JWT in our database. If it's not, if there is no ID or something, user not found. If it's okay, we're gonna here for change password. As you see here, change password, accept application user as user, current password, and new password, 3 parameter, which we handle here. Okay, and then we return change password change successfully. Okay, as you know, here we do not have Swagger here, but we have here something else. We have here a file .html format. Okay, first of all, the way that we handle Swagger, if you remember Swagger, you get a external page and you fill everything, but for version 9 we have here something similar to, because that won't get updated anymore. Okay, we have here a register endpoint. This is how syntax, how you work here. Just you say it's a post one, and our endpoint, which is API out register, which is here, API, the name of controller, and then the path is register, and we need to send username and password. We need to send username and password, which is here. Now let's try. I say here number 4, and we have here test, we have here YouTube example, and this is number 4. And let me run my application here. Let me run application here. And just wait for it. Okay, my application is running and listening on these ports 504 and 72737. I mean, now I want to make a user. I want to call this one, and we have here email and password. Okay, let me send the request, send the request, send request, send request. Okay, it's a user registered successfully. Let's go back to our database, which is here, username, view data, and let me see here. We have here YouTube. We should have YouTube. This is here, and for now I'm gonna change it to true email confirm. In the next video I'm gonna show you how we send email to the user to click and get access. Okay, as you see, our endpoint here works. Okay, first, now we have a username in our database. Okay, and now we want to get access. If you check here, I have here a controller which is named as, where is it, as protect. It's very simple. Okay, and it say just, if you call this, it should say you are authenticated. Okay, protect. Let me go back here, and for protect, which is here, let me send request. Okay, you are authenticated. Why? Because, oh Jesus, which one? Our user, YouTube, where is it? Okay, I say okay, Control C. For login one, I want to say here, and then YouTube test 1 2 3 4. Okay, here let me now log into the with my user. Okay, here is it, is giving me, let me first of all, let me send invalid email. Nothing, unauthorized, invalid credential. There is no email like this in my database. But if I'm going for a good one and send a request, it say okay, and as you see here, a token has been generated for me, which is now here. I'm gonna copy paste it here, and this is the kind of the format, as you see, email number 4 and here. Okay, I'm gonna copy this code here, and I put it here, and I'm gonna put it here. Okay, this is a valid. I'm going now to access the product. Send. It say unauthorized. Why it say unauthorized? Unauthorized. It say unable to get played. Okay, let me go check my JWT service very fast. I don't know, the guys are calling me like what's this ID use, why I have twice. Okay, this is just, I have twice. I'm gonna remove this one, and let me run it again. I go back to login, send the request, send the request. I'm going to copy it again here, Control. Okay, now I have this one, new token. Every time you call that database, you call that endpoint, you get new generated token. Okay, I pasted there. Okay, and now protect. send request. Okay, it say now you are authenticated. I have now very valid key here. If I add, for example, number 1 behind, and this is now invalid token, send request, unauthorized. Okay, if it's a valid, authorized. Let me see what happened. Oh, I'm in here. If it's valid, you get okay. If it's invalid, you get unauthorized. Okay, now you see how JWT token works. I mean, okay, now I registered, I logged in, I can access the controllers here, as you see, authorized controllers. And now let's change password. I mean, I don't have internet connection here now for now. Okay, let's go for change password. Change password is easy. It say just send the password, I'm gonna change it for you. But let's try it in our yeah, we have here change password backend. Again, it is a post one. And okay, what was my password is this, password is this, and I'm gonna put it here, and I say new test. Okay, here we don't need mention ID because we already logged in with that token. When we send this token in the header of request, it know us. Okay, email here, voila. Okay, now I say okay, I wanna reach that control, that endpoint, and give a new password. Okay, here, new password, new test 999, send a request, voila, password has been changed. Okay, and now let me try to log in with the old password here. You say unauthorized. Okay, I'm going back and I take that password again and log in. I put it here and again log in, and voila, we logged in again. And because we called it once again, we get new token. I say here like this. I will put the token again here in our file, HTTP file, which is a new one. Okay, and I put it again here, and now I try to get access to the protected one. And I have also other back, who am I, send request, status 200, and here you say anything. As you checked here, the who am I is again authorized. I put this scheme here. You say authentication scheme JWT bearer default. Okay, but I have here only authorized. Both are good, and you can also, I left both there to see how it works. This is just as default here, as you see. Okay, and authorize only also gets the job done. Okay, now in this video we saw how register endpoint works, login system works, and how JWT token works. Okay, the point is here so simple. Now we want, in the next part, we want to make a Wasam project, a standalone front end, and we want to get access to this data and user. That's really tough part. Okay, I hope you enjoy here with this one. This is as mentioned as part 1. I don't have internet connection, but I'm gonna upload it in my GitHub. You can have access there, and I see you in the next part. Have a lovely day and bye.